Hi, folks. Dr. Jim Gishwin here. I'm not going to bore you with the results of today's guilty verdicts. I'm just going to say a few things about it, but I want to sit there and delve into something deeper that surrounds it. Okay? Uh, Here's the thing. They may have opened Pandora's box. It reminds me of Stalin's famous saying, "Show me the man, I'll show you the crime." That's what we become. We become a Stalinistic country. Now, this Pandora's box they opened, just think, there are district attorneys all over the United States that can sit there and now do federal crimes in their local jurisdictions. They could sit there and turn it around on the Democrats. Another thing that we should take into account, I don't put anything past the Democrats at this point. Martial law, whatever. They will do anything. In fact, I'm praying for the safety of both our president, not because I like the man, just because his name is Joe and so was Joe Stalin's. No, because Biden has sat there and said that Trump and his followers present a clear and present danger. And that's being repeated by all of these Democratic mimics out there, all the talking heads. That makes us all susceptible to this kind of lawfare. They have single-handedly destroyed three concepts of the American Constitution. And because Trump was not allowed due process, okay, his due process was violated by three amendments of the Constitution during this thing. Okay? He can take this straight to the Supreme Court. He doesn't have to sit there and wait for the appeals court. He doesn't even have to wait for the sentencing. Now, if they sit there and send him to jail at sentencing time just before the convention, you know what has to happen? The Secret Service has to take over a whole wing of Rikers. Has anyone thought maybe our governor here in the free state of Florida can extradite him for that other case down here and then let him go free once he gets here, let him free on his own recognizance? Okay? Think about it, Governor. Think about it. And also, Trump's lawyers, think about taking this straight to the Supreme Court. His due process was violated. Just like ours is. We've been raped. We have been raped by the justice system. Just like Trump was. Now, I don't know what to tell you, except I don't want any violence. But I can't sit there and see where violence is going to be avoided in the future. I can see it happening. And I can see China invading Taiwan before the end of Biden's term. They don't want Trump in there to stop them. They know if Biden's in there, he ain't going to do diddly. Remember, 66% of the chips in all of your equipment, your cars, your phones, your iPads, you name it, comes from Taiwan. 66%. And 1/3 of the world's trade goes through that area, and also the South China Sea, where China is building artificial islands to control shipping towards the Malacca Straits, one of the heaviest trafficked straits in the world. They also, did you know the Chinese have almost a complete control ownership over the Panama Canal? Can't you see the handwriting on the wall? They also have the biggest navy in the world now. This isn't going to be like going in after Saddam Hussein with his 30-year-old Russian tanks. Okay. They have supersonic missiles, which we're now just now getting into. They have more technology than we do. And our industrial military complex is not capable of handling a war in the Middle East, a war in Ukraine, and a war in the Far East. And it's getting there. World War III is upon us, people. All because of Biden and his destruction of the American country and our sovereignty. I mentioned to you before what the Chinese did to Tibet. And we got all these Chinese fighting age males coming across our border. They sat there and paid people to move into Tibet until the Chinese made the Tibetans a minority. And there went the protests and everything else. I remember when I was younger, it was free Tibet, free Tibet. Well, now we're Tibet. And now we're the Soviet Union. Marxism, communism has failed in every country it was ever tried. Even communist China, that still tries to think that they're communist, is using state-controlled capitalism. It's still essentially controlled economy, which doesn't work. And that's why they're having problems too. I think Biden really wants a war with China. They can erase those trillions of dollars of debt that China holds on us if we go to war with them. That'll reduce the national debt, wouldn't it? Except a war that size would probably sit there and increase it right back up there again. People, we are in dire straits. But I want you to pray for both Biden and Trump. Biden, because I have respect for the office of the president, even though he's misusing it. Okay. I don't want to see violence against any of these candidates. And Trump. I want to vote for him, but I don't want to vote for him as a martyr. They single-handedly gave Trump the election. That's why I'm worried about what their next step is going to be. They're getting desperate, people, and they are saying, damn the Constitution, full speed ahead. Like damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. They don't care. They don't care what you think about them doing it. There is no embarrassment. There's joy in their hearts that they are destroying America, that they destroyed Western lawfare, our legal system, in just a matter of 2 months. Trump's lawyers take it straight to the Supreme Court. He was denied his due process. That gives you the right to skip appeal. Well, folks, I don't know what to tell you. They tried one of Stalin's other tactics last time in the 2020 election, where Stalin said it's not the votes that count, or the voters, it's he who counts the votes that count. And that's how they got over on 2020. They're following Stalin's methods left and right. Joe, you're not Joe Stalin. Quit trying to emulate him. With that, folks, I'm going to say pray for our candidates. Pray for those jurors. Make sure no harm comes to them. And pray that we're not on the brink of a civil war. And pray that we're not on the brink of World War III. How would that be? A civil war and a world war at the same time? I don't think it'd come out very well for any of us. Well, I love you all. God bless you. And I remain your humble servant.